It is because of this absurdity, this nothingness, importance, IMPOTENC, importance, not importance, sorry, this importance that the play is considered to be a new age play, a coming of age play, because it has no plot, there is no character development, except for the fact that there is a transformation in Lucky and Pozo. For Pozo becomes blind and Lucky is dumb, and the rope that used to tie Lucky to Pozo, the rope that was around Lucky's neck and Pozo would control him, has shortened. So the relationship dynamic between Pozo and Lucky has shifted a little bit. That is the only character development that we get. Apart from that, there is utter ignorance, because the two characters, the two tramps, does not know what time it is, where they are not sure. And even the messenger boy, uh, uh, when he meets them for the second time, tells them that he does not know them. So that is how the play became famous, the play became popular, because it hardly has anything, it hardly has a plot, it hardly has a character development. Now, apart from that, let us discuss the structure of the play. Now, when we look at the structure of the play, there are a lot of symbolic aspects to it. For instance, the play is of two acts, Act 1 and Act 2. So everything in the play happens in pair. For instance, there is Vladimir and Estragon, there is Lucky and Pozo, there is the messenger boy and also his brother. So everything happens in pair in the entire novel, in the entire play. That is important when we look at the structure of the play. Now let us let us quickly shift our focus to the relationship between Vladimir and Estragon. Now Vladimir is considered as a representative of the brain, whereas Estragon representative of the brain or the mind, whereas Estragon is the representative of the body. Now look at Estragon. He does not want to wait for Godot. There are few instances where he just tells Vladimir to move from there. He tells Vladimir, let us go away from this place. And it is Vladimir who reminds him that they need to wait for Godot. Estragon is hungry because that is a bodily need. We feel hungry. Estragon does not understand why they are waiting, and Estragon continuously goes away from the scene. He has this urge to move here and there, just like our physical body does. Now, in opposition, you have the thinker, that is Vladimir. He reminds Estragon that they have to wait for Godot. He is always waiting, not just for Godot, but for Estragon to come back. Every time when Estragon goes out at night and comes back beaten up. And also, Vladimir's fascination for Lucky's hat, the thinking hat of Lucky that Vladimir wants to wear. So thinking, as you know, comes from the mind. Now from here, Vladimir being the mind and Estragon being the body, we can split existentialism and essentialism. Now, Vladimir represents the mind and also essentialism. Please note. And estragon, on the other hand, represents the body and existentialism, the philosophy of existentialism. Now, essentialism comes from the word essence, finding a purpose of oneself. Essence means finding that one thing that keeps us together. For instance, the traditional philosophies like Buddhism, for example, it believes that religion and spirituality can bring about enlightenment in a human being. The essence, that one character, one quality that makes up the human being is his or her enlightenment. Okay, don't be confused at all. Essentialism is believing, it is a traditional form of philosophy that believes that religion and spirituality gives enlightenment, gives purpose to life. For instance, Gautam Buddha found purpose in life after he received enlightenment, when he embraced the path of spirituality. Now, the opposite is estragon. Estragon, I told you, is a representative of the body, hence existential philosophy. Existentialism comes from the word exist. So, as I already said, what do existentialists believe in? What did Camus or famous philosopher like Sartre believe? That human beings, human life is purposeless. And the true meaning of life cannot be found in philosophy or spirituality as believed by traditional philosophers. The true meaning of life can be found in the human experience, the day-to-day human experience that we come across, we face. So that is the difference between Vladimir and estragon. And this is the simplest form to understand existential philosophy. Now let's move on to another important episode of the play, that is Lucky's monologue. Now, Lucky's monologue that comes in Act 1, Scene 13. Some believe, famous critics like Martin Esslin believes that it is just a blabbering of some schizophreniac. Now, schizophreniac, of course, is somebody who hallucinates. So, Lucky's monologue, if you look at it, it is another important characteristic of absurd drama. Why is Waiting for Godot an absurd drama? One reason will definitely be Lucky's monologue. Now, there is no punctuation, there is no comma, there is no full stop. It is a constant blabbering of somebody's subconscious mind, a sort of stream of consciousness. Now, Martin Esslin believes that it is nothing, just like Samuel Beckett said that the play actually is nothing. He just wanted to write, so he wrote it, and no symbol, no allegory, no meaning is supposed to be found in the play. In the same way, Lucky's monologue is nothing. It is just there. It is just a madman blabbering. However, modern critics believed that it is a criticism again to the idea of religion, which believes that purpose of human being can be found in their search or quest for spiritual regeneration or enlightenment. So Lucky, according to some new critics, believe that It criticizes God as being perceived by the traditional Christian religion. So that is why Lucky's monologue is important out here. One side believe that it is just a blabbering of a subconscious, or the subconscious coming out, nothing more. And for some, it is a criticism to the traditional form of religion, the traditional God. So that was it for Lucky's monologue. Now, a next important aspect of the play is symbolism. So there are many symbols in the play. First and the foremost, there is the tree. Now, in Act 1, the tree has no leaf, it is lifeless. In Act 2, the tree has some leaves in it, symbolizing hope. It also somewhere resonates crucifixion of Jesus Christ. That because in Act 1, the two tramps, Vladimir and Estragon, even consider committing suicide by hanging themselves in the a tree. Now, a second symbol, of course, is the rope. Now, rope is one symbol, of course, is them trying to commit suicide just to kill boredom. Please remember, they are not killing themselves. They don't want to kill themselves because something bad has happened to them, or they are upset or disappointed or disillusioned with life. They want to kill boredom. They want to get rid of the mundaneness. That is the reason they want to kill themselves. Now, next I told you is when in Act 1, when Lucky and Pozo enters, Pozo has tied Lucky's neck to the rope, and the rope is very long. Now, this rope actually becomes less, it becomes shorter, symbolizing how the relationship has changed after Pozo has lost his sight. So these are the two important symbols. Then there is Lucky's hat, the thinking hat that Vladimir wants to possess, because he, of course, is the brain between Estragon and Vladimir. Now, characters themselves are symbols. For instance, according to some critics, Pozo uh, is a representative of the feudal high class, upper class society, who, of course, indulges in slavery for their selfish purpose. And at the same time, even when they lose their sight, even if they are not as powerful as they were earlier, they cannot forego their feudalism, they cannot forego slavery. This is another symbol. Now, Godot himself, some believe that Godot actually means God, and this is affirmed or reaffirmed by the idea of the messenger and the boy, the messenger and his brother being referred to as Cain and Abel, the two biblical brothers, God's sons. Now, why? Because the messenger boy seems to take care of the goats, and his brother seems to take care of the sheep. So that is why he is also known, Guru is also considered to be a symbol of God, a God that does not come even when there is so much of waiting. So that is, this play has a lot of layers to it. Please look through it, go through it, There are many materials in the internet. Just read throughout the play. The play in itself is important, and most important topics that you need to look at is the title of the play and the existentialism in the play. Please have a look at these topics.